Hello everybody, it's May 15th, 2023. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin. I apologize for the lack of a video on Friday. I was at an event that was pretty much all day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it just completely slipped my mind on Friday. I'm going to be at another event this weekend, so I may or may not do a video Friday. If I am unable to do it, I apologize in advance. All right, let's take a look at what I said a week ago on Monday. We had trash action. I was expecting lower. As long as Bitcoin was below 28.2, I was operating under the assumption that we still have another 12 to 1600 bucks lower to go to about 26 to 26.4, which we did then get over the course of the week. And now the bounce from that area, which we are now getting, is important to saying whether or not that's a larger bottom, or if we're going to get the 20 to 24 area that the macro says we need to hit at a minimum, right? And bigger picture, we still have these scenarios. Yellow scenario is bullish, but it's not a good bullish scenario. It relies on a diagonal. So honestly, orange and red scenario are probably more likely. They're both bearish and involve a breakdown to, at a minimum, like 12 to 14, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm open to all possibilities. All right, so video on last Monday, I believe, was somewhere around here. We were looking for a fourth wave bounce followed by a fifth wave lower to this yellow box, which I had drawn. You can see we spiked that box pretty perfectly, went slightly lower than it, and now we are starting to get a bit of a bounce here. So this looks to me like a 5-wave diagonal down for that C wave of what I'm assuming is W. I'm assuming it's a W because we didn't hit this larger yellow box that the macro says we should get. And this is obviously 3 waves. That's an ABC. So I assume that's a W. We're working on ABC up for X, and we're then going to see a ABC down for Y at an absolute minimum. And again, the bearish scenario could take over where we go down lower and break below that yellow box. But yellow is the bull scenario that we're going to just kind of wait and see if it ends up working. So at this point, I drew some of these little drawings on here to show in general what I was looking at. I'm just going to delete that now. I am, again, operating under the assumption that we're trying to get this X formed right now before we go down in Y. And the X wave should be an ABC up. And I think we've probably seen A. We're working on B. And we should get that C wave up somewhere then. So we're going to have to continue to watch, see how this ends up playing out. At the moment, I see absolutely nothing impulsive in this action. And so I am very, very comfortable saying we have lower to go in the main scenario still. So I think if we want to get really micro, just based on how this looks, I think we probably have, as I said, our A wave up. This should be the beginning of the B wave, but the B wave should be another ABC. We should get something that looks similar to this. So we likely are not going to go up directly to this area. We probably have to come back down, maybe test this sort of 26.5 area first. That is my assumption. So I'm going to watch, you know, in the micro for a little rejection somewhere in this maybe low 27 region. One more push down back into that low mid 26 area probably, and then a push up from there. And once we have that in place, then we can draw a fib extension from there wherever we end up hitting and get a target, you know, likely somewhere around here for this X wave. So maybe around this top right there, like low 28s, before we go down lower. So my plan personally is if we get something that looks like this, I'm going to long for a scalp long up to wherever that target is for X, then short here, right? So I'll long here, short here, and probably just ride both of them out. The main assumption is that we'll go down, my shorts will win, and I'll stop out break even out of the longs. But if I'm wrong, the longs will insulate the shorts, right? If it goes up a little higher, I can keep riding both the longs and the shorts and decide when I may want to dump my shorts. Because maybe it goes up, although it's unlikely. But it also just insulates it in case it goes up a little higher, maybe visits here before coming back down. That's certainly possible. And so it'll be nice to have some longs running if we can get those longs in. So that's kind of how I'm playing it, you know, trying to hedge along the way with this very choppy action. There's so many possibilities, but as I said, main thing I'm looking for still is this X, and we're just waiting now for an ABC to clearly form here for X wave. And as I said, really micro, I'm kind of expecting this to form for this B wave. All right, and then from there, again, once we get X in place, then we can draw another fib extension, WX, wherever X goes, and get a bit more of a target down here. So, you know, if depending on where X is, we might be looking more at the top of this yellow box versus the lower region of it. But we'll just have to wait and see what we get and go from there as the action develops. But yeah, that's main scenario for me for sure is lower. We're probably going sub 24 after some bouncing around here. So definitely some opportunities for profiting both long and short going forward with this chop, but it is going to be treacherous trading. All right, I believe that's everything. Hopefully I'll talk to you all on Friday. Again, like I said, if not, I apologize in advance. But I'll try to do a video Friday night. And if not, I'll talk to you all again on Monday. Have a good rest of the week.